Hello everyone, welcome back to Literature Warriors. So today I'm going to discuss another poem from the O-level literature syllabus. That is A Bird Came Down the Walk by Emily Dickinson. Emily Dickinson is an American poetess. And he was born in 10th December 1830s and died in 1886. And Science and Religion featured strongly in her educational background, and that may be in the poem too. There is an effect of religion as well. And also she experimented with the expression and made the speakers in the poem sharp-sighted, deep-thinking observers. When we are going through the poem, we also can witness something like that in this poem too. Actually the incident of this poem is the narrator, that means Emily Dickinson, is watching a bird who is coming down, walking. Then she notices that she thinks that the bird does not see that she is watching. Then the bird hunts an angleworm, and she splits into halves. The worm has been split into halves, and it takes the male and drinks water, and then the bird confronts a beetle, but as he satisfied his hunger, he does not attack the beetle. Then the narrator offers a crumb. The narrator offers a crumb and a breadcrumb, and the bird refuses this crumb and flies away with a great speed. So let me go to the first stanza. A bird came down the walk, he did not know I saw. He bit an angleworm in halves and ate the fellow raw. So you can see the incident. The bird is coming down and he did not know I saw. So it says that the narrator thinks that the bird has not seen that she is watching the bird. And then he bit an angleworm in halves. In halves means two parts divided into two halves. Two parts divided the worm into two parts, and also then ate the fellow raw. So eating a fellow raw, so the fellow is the worm. So eating raw suggests some kind of brutality. Also, breaking the angleworm into two halves also suggests the bestialistic quality, the beast qualities of the bird, because it belongs to the category of animals. And also we can say the speaker is observing. Speaker observes, and the speaker seems to suggest that perhaps the bird would not have been so brutal, like eating the fellow raw, if it had known it was being observed. So this is somewhat universal at the same time, because if somebody is watching us, we are behaving in a different way. So the poet is indirectly suggesting that if the bird knew that he's been watching, it would not have been brutal that much. However, by making this observation, the speaker might be suggesting that the bird's instincts are somehow inferior to human interactions, because breaking a worm into halves and eating raw. Some people in the human world also eat some kind of animals raw, but the poet is suggesting conveying a realistic picture of how a bird eats the worm, breaking it into two halves and eating the fellow raw. So it actually creates a realistic image, an incident. Also it creates visual imagery, how the bird comes down and how it eats the worm. Well, let me go to the second stanza. And then he drew a dew from a convenient grass and then hopped sidewise to the wall, let a beetle pass. So what happens now? In the first stanza you can see the bird satisfies its hunger. Bird satisfies its hunger. Well, so in the second stanza you can see how it drinks water. The poet says convenient grass and dew. This is the source of water, the natural source of water, and it's very convenient. So this is how the bird drinks water. So it shows the poetess brings out how the bird quenches its thirst. So in the second stanza, bird quenches its thirst, and he is getting help from a natural resource of water and from the immediate environment. This is convenient draws means immediate environment, and this also suggests that bird actually represents nature. So we can come to a conclusion that always nature finds resources from the nature. So it also depicts that nature is self-sufficient, as it has its resources on its own. So then he sees a beetle, and as he has satisfied his hunger, he just passed. So we can see, then after having the meal of the worm and then drinking water, quenching his thirst, he goes to a wall, climb up the wall, then to let the beetle pass. So though the bird sees another prey, beetle is another prey, But the bird does not attack this prey because he has already satisfied its hunger. So it is in a way ironical, because people are never quenching their hunger and thirst, because they are always on the run of finding everything and earning more and more. They are not satisfied. So contrast with human worlds, as people are never get satisfied from anything, but the bird, once he has fulfilled its hunger and quenched its thirst, he never goes after another one. Well, so then the third stanza. He glanced with rapid eyes that hurried all abroad. They looked like frightened beads, I thought. He stirred his velvet head. So here you can see, so the poet deals with another aspect of nature as well. So nature and its dependence, because they have been endowed with suspicion. So glanced with rapid eyes, hurried, looked like frightened beads. So all this suggests the suspicion of the bird. Well, so suspicion, fear, doubt, they always have, the dependence of nature always have this kind of attitudes, because at any time a rival force may encounter with them, and it may create some danger for their lives. So now the worm is also a part of the nature, beetle is also a part of the nature, and bird is also so. And it is universal fact that like the worm gets hunted by the bird, beetle and also the bird may be another prey of another animal. So they always have this kind of suspicion, doubts and fear about their lives, because it is the nature of nature actually. So the bird may be a prey, a victim of another animal. So this stanza also illustrates the behavior of the excited behavior of the bird, excited, frightened behavior of the bird, and you can see it is more elaborated by looked like frightened beads. So there is a simile actually, simile, and frightened beads have been compared to the eyes of the bird, and the eyes are actually really frightened, and stirred his velvet head. So here stirring his velvet head, this the image of velvet also suggests beauty and softness, innocence, everything. So stirring its velvet head also suggests its watchfulness and vigilance. Well, so this is how the bird behaves when he scents of something dangerous. Well, let me go to the other stanza. Like one in danger, courteous, I offered him a crumb, and he unrolled his feathers and rode him softer home. So this line comes with the earlier stanza. He stirred his velvet head like one in danger. So he's always courteous, very careful and attentive about the other factors around him. So, and the important fact is, fourth stanza gives you the climax. Climax. So, this offering a crumb is the climax because the bird flies away, ignoring the crumb, of the poetess. So, you can see this indirectly suggests the, so when it is when the poetess has been offered a crumb, what the bird did was, he had unrolled his feathers and rode himself to home. So that means he flew away suddenly. Well, so in a way it suggests the, so as the bird represents nature, we can say indirectly suggest nature's dislike in getting interrupted by human world, because they are self-sufficient and they don't want any help from the others, especially from the human beings, because they think that human beings are a danger for them. So you can see this is the behavior of the bird after recognizing that he has been hindered by some rival force. That is, though the poetess is offering a crumb, it does not feel safe for the bird. So offering a crumb also suggests, I told you at the beginning, Emily Dickinson has been greatly influenced by the religion and science. So you can see now giving something to eat for a bird or an animal is somewhat admired in the religion. So as he is religious, it indirectly suggests that the poetess has been influenced by the religion. She believes in sins actually. So she is going to do some kind of a good deed, but nature refuses it because the nature thinks that it will become a danger for them. And also at the same time you can see home. Home is the place of affection, and safety is there. So the bird flies away for a safer place. So this is the most safest place for a person, for a being, for a living being to be. Well, so in the fourth stanza we can see the reaction of the bird, reaction of the nature when human beings intervene with the nature. Well, let me go to the last stanza now. Then oars divide the ocean, two silver for a seam. O butterflies off the bank of noon, leap plashless as they swim. Well, so this is important. This stanza does not goes with the incident happening, but it is like a figurative image that the poetess is creating, referring to the incident, referring to the sudden retirement of the bird. Well, so you can see there are two similes used. Two metaphors actually. You can see oars divide the ocean. Oars and the butterflies, the retirement of butterfly. So you have to carefully understand what's the poet is telling here. You know the oarsman. Oarsman is the person who rides the boats with the oar. You know what oar means. Oar divides the ocean into two parts, and suddenly when the tides get divided, in a split second again the tides get together. You can see now, if I say this is the ocean and the boat is going like this, and there are oars. From the oars the tides get divided, and in a split second they again get together. So you can see the great speed of getting together compared to the sudden retirement of the bird. And also the other metaphor used here is the butterflies who are rising up to the sky with a very great speed, plashless. So the great speed suggests the sudden behavior and the sudden retirement of the bird. Well, so we can see the two figurative features have been used here. However, it has been compared to the sudden behavior, sudden flying away of the bird. So we can see this is a very simple and insignificant incident at all, but the poetess is giving you a universal fact, because first thing is how nature is self-sufficient and how nature is independent, because the dependence of nature have enough and more resources for them. Well, and the other thing is, as the nature is self-sufficient, it does not need any help from the others, especially from the human world. So you can see what happens when the human beings have been interfered or intervened towards nature. That becomes an interruption for the bird, for the nature. So you can see those are the two most important facts the poetess has been brings out here. The refusal of the bird for the offering of the crumbs suggests how the nature refuses the things in the human world actually. So this is a very simple poem, and you can understand it because the language is really simple, and you can see the visual imagery goes throughout the poem, and there's a climax that is offering the crumb. The offering of the crumb is the climax, because after that, with the offering, the bird leaves suddenly. And there are two metaphors as well, and similes have been used telling frightened bees. So I will be discussing the themes and techniques separately in another video. Hope you got an understanding about the poem, because it's a very simple poem with simple language. Well, see you all in another video, and thank you everyone for watching.